Michigan got themselves a commitment, not from a 2024 recruit, but maybe even better than some 2024 recruits, a transfer portal recruits. We're leading that on our Michigan Football Report Signing Day recruiting recap, because this happens on signing day. Jaishawn Barham, he's going to have 2 years of eligibility left, was a top 150 player out of St. Francis High School in Maryland. Biff Pochi fame that Michigan's kind of got a lot of players. Really, not everybody they wanted, but a stud every year or two for the last 6-7 years. 96 tackles, 7 sacks, an interception, and a forced fumble in his 2 years at Maryland. Now, what's interesting about that one interception is it was of one J.J. McCarthy right before halftime, as Michigan was really about to put that game away. Kept Maryland in the game after that, because if Michigan scores a touchdown there, they're up by 3 scores at halftime. Game is a completely different monster going into the second half. So we have now, for 2 straight years, Michigan has taken a starting linebacker from a Big Ten counterpart. Last year was Ernest Hausman, Nebraska, true freshman, coming over with 2 to 3 years of eligibility, 2 or 3, depending on what he does. Played pretty good this year. And then Jaishawn Barham from Maryland, who have 2 years of eligibility, the number 130 recruit in the 24/7 Sports Composite in the 2022 class. 2 years at Maryland, has committed to Michigan in the transfer portal. Big-time addition. He'll be in the starting lineup or maybe the third linebacker for the 2024 season. I'm loving this one. Type Go Blue if you are a Michigan football fan. Let me know down in the comments, because we have had a lot of haters from Alabama, including our other employees, in our live chat and comments. So give me a Go Blue. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. Let's get into our 2024 recruiting class right now. Your 2024 National Signing Day. Michigan's got 27 players in the transfer portal, and you could have the 27 best days of the year with Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code GoBlue for 20% off and free shipping. They've got the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. They've got the Platinum Package 5.0 Ultra. Amazing male grooming products. Make great holiday gifts. If you forgot somebody in your shopping list, go to manscaped.com. Use promo code GoBlue, 20% off. Get the guys in your life or yourself a great gift this holiday season. All right, some more news here on signing day. Lugard Edokpayi commits to Michigan. The number 220 player in the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings was down to Michigan, Minnesota, Maryland, and Rutgers. Was really in the mix with Florida State and Texas A&M a month or so ago. Michigan made a late push, offered him on November 8th, the day after he put a tweet out that said his top 5 were other schools, and had him on campus. Got the deal done. He is the 27th member and the 6th highest rated member of this 2024 Michigan recruiting class, which is ranked 16th on the 24/7 Sports Composite, 16th best class in this cycle. Well, look, I don't think anybody needs to be down on that by any means. I think that Michigan has shown over the past 3 seasons that they don't need to have a top 3 or 4 class every single year to beat Ohio State again, to win the Big Ten championship, to make the college football playoff. Let's take a look at who is coming in this Wolverines recruiting class. And it's a very talented class for Jim Harbaugh. I guess it would be his 10th recruiting class, maybe 9th full recruiting cycle for this season. You've got Jordan Marshall and Jadyn Davis. The interesting thing about those two, the thing that I think you want to consider going forward with Michigan is this the duo of the future, right? Is this the 2 players at running back and quarterback in Davis and Jordan Marshall that continue beating Ohio State, that can continue winning Big Ten championships, going to the college football playoff, can backfill, whether it's next season, even as true freshman, or 2025, J.J. McCarthy and the combo of Blake Frazier and Dominic. Also, you got Andrew Sprague, big-time player. We'll see what he does here at the University of Michigan. He is a 6'8", 295 pounds. Yes, you heard me right. 6'8", 295-pound offensive tackle. Now, if that's actually his size, we'll have to see once he gets on campus. Out of Kansas City, Missouri, number 112 player in the country. Also, Brady Prieskorn, tight end out of Rochester, Michigan. One of the best tight ends in the country. They got him with the number 11 tight end. I think he could even be ranked higher than that. Maybe the next Cole Sullivan for these Wolverines. Continuing on, Blake Frazier. You've got the offensive tackle, 6'5", 260, out of Austin, Texas, number 170 in the country. Little undersized at this stage of the game, but if he puts on 20, 25 more pounds, he will have the body to be offensive lineman in Jim Harbaugh and Sharon Moore's system. Jacob Oden, The athlete, 6'1", 188, number 280 in the country, out of Harper Woods, Michigan. Another athlete, Jaden Smith, who I don't know where to put him. He could be a safety, he could be a linebacker. Hell, he could be a wide receiver, or more likely a potential defensive end or edge, number 284 out of Charlotte, North Carolina, in this 2024 recruiting class. Then you got Hogan Hansen, great name, Bellevue, Washington, another tight end, another 4-star. Michigan loading up on replacements for Cole Sullivan and A.J. Barner down the road, although both those players, Cole Sullivan for sure, maybe A.J. Barner will return in 2024. I'Marion Stewart, undersized, 5'10", I think is a potential early impact player. Maybe not a wide receiver, but we had some of those bubble screens, punt returning, end around. Mason Curtis, right? Linebacker, athlete. It's tough to see what they say. I think he ends up there at a linebacker for Michigan. 6'4", 200 pounds. Could beef up and go on the inside, maybe be a defensive tackle in the future. And then we've got the all-name team for this Michigan football program. Jo'Ziah Edmond. Jo'Ziah Edmond, cornerback, a position of great need for Michigan in the future. Number 344. He's 6'1", 180. We'll continue on this Michigan Football Report recruiting special. If you're excited for this recruiting class, look, I am, right? You got 18 players who are 4 stars or higher out of 27. So it's not a top 5 class, but I think it is very deep. It addresses a lot of needs, right? Cornerback, tight end, quarterback, running back, offensive line, all over the place, defensive line, all over the place. Like, this is a stacked class. I would guess that 15 or more of these players make big-time impacts by, their second, third year in this program. So I'm excited. Give us a like in this video. Don't jinx it, right? Make sure you put out the good vibes. Don't jinx it. You're getting the good vibes out in these players so they make an impact on the field for Michigan. Michigan ranks in the recruiting rankings across the different services. Number 16, the composite all together there by 27 Sports. They put it together. 24/7 Sports has Michigan in their own rankings, number 15, and that's pretty consistent right here. ESPN 15. Rivals has Michigan at number 12, and On3, the new boys on the block, have Michigan there at the number 16 class in the country. So those are the class rankings from the different services for this Wolverines recruiting class. I'll ask you guys this question, though. Grade Michigan's recruiting class A, B, C, D, or F. If you're an amateur, give me an A, B, C, D, or F. But if you're a pro, you can give me a B plus, a B minus, an A minus, whatever you want. You can do plus or minuses, but you can be a pro, just have a solid A, B, C, D, or F grade. I was going to go with a B minus, right? Because the lack of just the elite players, the Will Johnsons, the J.J. McCarthy's, maybe even the Diamond Edwards. But nevertheless, I think that this is a B class with the recruitment, the commitment today. So I'm going with a B, solid B. So it makes me maybe an amateur. Maybe you guys think it's B minus, A minus. Let me know in the live chat or the comments. Let's go through this entire recruiting class. We kind of highlighted some of those top guys, so I won't spend too much on time on them. But here, right on screen, their rankings on the right side, their position, and those rankings are in the 24/7 Sports composite. Top 5 players in this Michigan football recruiting class. Now, then it continues on, right? Michigan will go 6 through 27 here in a second. But, Jack, you know what I want to talk about first beforehand? I want to talk about our good friends at Manscaped. It's just the best gift to give this holiday season. We gave one away on our Michigan Football Report live show, and you need to get going with Manscaped because the leaders in below-the-waist grooming have just launched a 5th-generation performance package to help you avoid another silent night in the bedroom this year. You got to take care of the fellas in your life or take care of yourself. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra includes the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, which just launched a few months ago, and you can watch your South Pole shine like never before if you use the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. The Manscaped Performance Package 5.0 Ultra has loads of items. You see them on the screen. It is amazing. It's an awesome value, and you get 20% off. This bundle together normally sells like $258 individually. Package on the website, $139.99 plus 20% off. So you're paying, what, quick math there, you're paying about $116 for this amazing package, an amazing gift to give somebody, and get 20% off with promo code GOBLUE. Link is in the comments. Link is in the description, and we'll have the link in the live chat here on the Michigan Football Report. That was the one, Jack, right there with the prices. You just toss that one back up. Show the people. $139.99, slash it, chop it. My math is off. $111.99 with the 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com. Link is in the comments description. Use promo code GOBLUE. Support the show. They want to keep working with us and get yourself 20% off. Continue rolling. Today's commit, Lugard Edokpayi from Maryland. He is a defensive end, number 222 player overall in this class. A big addition, took my class ranking from a B- to a B. Jacob Oden, Jaden Smith, Hogan Hansen, big-time tight end. I think he's going to be on the field next season, honestly. I really think he will be. And then I'Marion Stewart out of Chicago. A little bit undersized, a little tad undersized, but could be a future Samaj Morgan or AJ Henning, that type of player for his first year or two until he gets some wets his beak a little bit, get him on the field as a wide receiver in year 2 or potentially even in year 3. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. It is at James Yoder. When we get a chance, Jack, toss a link to my Twitter account in the live chat. But you guys watching on demand later on Wednesday, we'll post this video on the channel. Go ahead and follow me. The link is down in the comments and description, or just type at James Yoder there on Twitter. And you'll get nonstop Michigan football tweets, including while I'm out in California, December 28th through January 2nd. Let's take a look at the top recruiting classes in this 2024 cycle. Georgia is winning the day so far. 27 commits. Even though they lost their quarterback, the 5-star quarterback, Dylan Iola, they have continued to dominate under Kirby Smart. Then it's Alabama, who stole a 5-star defensive end from Ohio State today. Florida State, Ohio State falls from, they were kind of up there for number 1 class. They fell all the way to number 4 with a kind of rough last couple days. Texas, Oregon, Miami, the NIL boys, right there, those 3. Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and then Florida. Next out, 11 through 20 at Auburn, LSU with 27 commits, Clemson, Tennessee, Penn State continue to recruit well under James Franklin. Michigan, then USC, South Carolina, Nebraska, and Texas A&M. So you got 16, 17, and 19 there. The Big Ten flair. USC, because all these guys will play in the Big Ten. Penn State. So 4 of those 11 through 20 are Big Ten teams. If you guys have yet to do so, subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. We are 1 subscriber away from 30,100. So that means we are 901 away from hitting our next milestone of 31,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button or always come back, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Send the link to your friends. Help spread the gospel of the most consumed Michigan football program on any platform, web, digital, podcast, TV, or radio. Keep it rolling here on this recruiting class. Now, Mason Curtis. Some service have him as an athlete. Some have him as a linebacker. I like him anywhere they play him. He reminds me of one of these guys who's a football player. I think Jim Harbaugh loves football players, guys who love to play football, and that's what Mason Curtis reminds me of. Out of Pittsburgh, you've got Cole Sullivan. He is 6'3", 200 pounds flat on a linebacker. Committed back in May, so number 316 overall in the country. A little under, my opinion, he was a little underwhelming film. I like Mason Curtis' film a little bit more than Jo'Ziah Edmond, cornerback, a position of need that Michigan hasn't really recruited at the highest level. They got Jair Hill last year, got Will Johnson a couple years ago, but I think that's an area of need. That's why they had to bring over a transfer portal guy this year to get in the starting lineup. Then you got Devon Baxter over there on the edge. Love his film, love his game, out of Maryland. Jeremiah Beasley, linebacker out of Belleville. Can he be the teammate that pulls Bryce Underwood to Michigan, the top player in the 2025 class? They list Beasley 6'1", 210, linebacker. I don't think he's an early playing guy. He could be on special teams next year, but I still think he's probably 2, if not 3 years out before he makes an impact on the field. He is number 364 in this class. Before we continue the rest of the class, tell you some players who are enrolling early for this Michigan class that we have confirmed, that have said they are. It doesn't mean that they definitely will, but some guys can change. A couple of these guys are actually already on campus. Already, Jack, you can go and if your high school is over, you can actually practice with your football team now as they prepare for the college football playoffs. A couple of these guys are doing that. Jadyn Davis, I'Marion Stewart, Channing Goodwin, so the high school teammates there down in Charlotte. Brady Prieskorn, I would mess up his name. Hogan Hansen, a couple of tight ends, a couple maybe instant impact players. I think one of those guys will definitely be on the field in 2024 in some regard. 6 more early enrollees for Michigan. 7 of the 12 are on offense, and 5 of the 12 there are on defense. Jake Guarnera, the offensive lineman there, is one of them. We continue on. You've got Jo'Ziah Edmond. Love the name. Dominic Nichols, Jeremiah Beasley come over from Belleville. He'll be on campus. Maybe a bad thing, though. Maybe he doesn't have enough time, doesn't have any more ability to recruit his high school teammate. But we all know that Bryce Underwood is going to make his decision in about 3 weeks on January 6th. Jacob Oden, also from the state of Michigan, early enrollee. Let me know, you guys, who is the first Michigan recruit that you remember? Had some great answers in the live chat when we asked this earlier in the signing day show. So let me know in the comments if you're watching this on demand later or in the live chat. We saw some Drew Henson, Justin Fargas. Mine was Drew Henson. I saw some Justin Fargas, I think, when there. Saw a few people saying Ricky Leach, right, back in the 1970s. Tyrone Wheatley. I saw a Rashawn Gary, a few in there. Let me know the first recruit that you remember, right, that ended up coming to Michigan, or Michigan thought they were going to land. Maybe he spurned Michigan, and you always remember him because the fact that he didn't end up on the Wolverines. Let me know down in the comments. Luke Hamilton coming in at the number 16 rated player here for this 2024 Michigan football recruiting class. Yeah, we'll see what we get out of him. I mean, you never can really tell with offensive linemen. I think offensive linemen and defensive linemen are the toughest positions to really project what they're going to do at the next level. But he's out of Avon, Ohio. Didn't buy in. I don't think Ohio State offered him, but didn't even consider Ohio State. So at 6'5", 290, you just like his toughness because he spurned the Buckeyes, went to the winning program in the Big Ten. Continue on. You got Ted Hammond, defensive lineman, number 411 in the 24/7 Sports composite rankings. Jake Guarnera. I love the name. All right, I love the last name for him. Out of Ponte Vedra. His last name and his city, Jack. Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Kind of like Jake Guarnera. It's a little bit of a flair on him. 6'4", 290. Interior offensive lineman. So guard, maybe center. If he puts on too much more weight or grows, he's going to outgrow the center position. So maybe he is the next Zach Zinter for Michigan. And then I love this guy, Micah Kaapana, out of Las Vegas, one of the best high schools in all of college, in all of high school football at Bishop Gorman. He is a hell of a player. He was ranked like number 1,100, 1,200 when he committed to Michigan back in June. Had a hell of a senior year. I mean, he's just a jitterbug out there. I mean, he runs with power, he runs with speed, 5'11", 196. He's not undersized. I don't know what they're missing with him. I think he's at least a 4-star player. They've got him ranked in the composite as a 3-star player, number 34 running back in the country. I think he's a guy who's going to be on the field for Michigan in some regard, whether special teams or maybe at the running back position in 2024. Keep it rolling here. Michigan's got 27 commits. Ben Roebuck out of St. Edward's High School, Lakewood, Ohio, very close to where I grew up. Just one of true elite high school football programs in the country. He's got some teammates that are committed to Ohio State on that offensive lineman. He spurned Ohio State, put all his focus into Michigan, committed back in March 22nd of 2023, so kind of spring of his junior year in high school. Dominic Nichols, love when we're seeing out of Dominic Nichols. Also love when we see out of Channing Goodwin, right? The high school connection with Jadyn Davis out of North Carolina. His dad, All-American level player in Michigan, All-Pro big player in the NFL. He's not as big as his dad, right? Dad, offensive lineman. He is himself a wide receiver, but I think he's underranked at a 3-star player, number 558 in the country. We'll see if we prove the doubters wrong, right, when he comes to Michigan. And then how about Deyvid Palepale, just committed to flip from USC to Michigan, 6'3", 305 pounds. I think really early in the live show I said 205 pounds, but committed to USC for a long time, got the flip to Michigan. And 750, he is ranked number 4th lowest rated player in Michigan's class. But you got to offer some USC. You got to offer some Michigan. A bunch of other big schools. I'll trust Michigan's judgment. I'll trust Michigan's defensive line coach over the blog boys who put together these rankings. How about down at the bottom of the rankings for Michigan? You've got Manuel Bigel, number 891. Okay, he's ranked that low. Maybe he ends up making some plays in Michigan. Maybe not. So we'll see how it shakes out. Jeremiah Lowe, cornerback. Some speed on him. Didn't look that bad. I'm not sure why he's ranked so low. Didn't look that bad in the film I saw from him. Out of Lexington, Kentucky, Steve Klinkscale certainly followed him as a high school recruit back when he was a sophomore, bringing him up to Michigan from the state of Kentucky. He is 6'5", 170 pounds. Then Zach Ludwig, I don't know if he's actually on scholarship or not. Feels like more of a walk-on player to me, but that rounds out Michigan's class. He's the 17th, 1,757th ranked player in this class. They say a 3-star, but that's kind of more 2-star territory. Let me ask you guys this question, though. Can Michigan win 2 more games, win the national title? Do you believe they can win the national title? Do you believe? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Type Y for yes or N for no. I see Mark Eastman in the live chat with a yes. Let me know down in the comments if you watch this later on Wednesday night or Thursday, our Michigan football 2024 recruiting class recap. I see Rick Harford as well with a Y, Chef Maine with a Y, can win Michigan win the national title. Now, where does this class stack up to prior Michigan football classes? Last year, they were number 17 class, so basically on par with where they're at this year. At number 17, they were number 16 this year in 2024. Okay, cool. Year before that, number 9. Back in 2021, number 13, the J.J. McCarthy Diamond Edwards Jr. Colson class. 2020, number 10. 2019, number 8. So if you see, kind of go back, you have a high-rated class 2020, 2019. But those classes didn't lead to Big Ten championships, right? I mean, a couple of those guys were on the 2021 team, 2022 team, but almost nobody. Maybe Chris Jenkins and a couple other players from 2020 or 2019 are making huge impacts for Michigan this season. So I don't think Michigan fans have to really worry about where this class is ranked as long as Jim Harbaugh, Sherrone Moore, Jesse Minter, as long as his coaching and development staff continues on at Michigan, and Michigan will get the best out of all the players coming in. Let me know down in the comments or in the live chat, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel now? Jack, we should know what you do. We should make the live chat sub only for the next 10 minutes. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you got to subscribe. Or if you want to comment on the channel, you got to subscribe in the live chat. So anyone in the live chat, you can't type no because I know you're lying. But if you have done so, type yes in the comments if you're watching this later on demand. If you haven't, type no and let me know what we can do to get you to subscribe to the channel, the most watched channel on any platform in 2023. Definitely yes from Rick Harford. Appreciate that. Mark Eastman as well. Josh Sherwood as well. Let's keep this show rolling and talk about the Big Ten. Ohio State's got the number 1 class in the Big Ten. And what is that? Oregon. No, Oregon, right? Oregon is a top 10 class. Would they come number 6 right now, Jack, in the overall 7? 6? No, 6. Oregon, all right? They've got 24 commits in this class. They are the number 2 class in the Big Ten. So if Michigan wants to remain in the top 2, top 3 in the Big Ten, an 18-team Big Ten, usually it's them. It's Ohio State 1, Michigan's usually number 2, or Penn State's number 2. It's not like that anymore. You're going to compete with Oregon, compete with USC, sometimes maybe even UCLA, maybe even Washington a year or two here, but it doesn't look like Washington's class is that good. This year, I don't know. It looks like a pretty rough class for Washington. Nebraska, Wisconsin, Purdue, Iowa, and Rutgers round out the top 10 classes in the Big Ten. Nebraska, maybe with the biggest win of the past week, getting Dylan Viola. Might be a head case, I don't know, but a 5-star quarterback. Minnesota, what would he do, like a poem or something like that? I didn't listen to it to see what he said, but talk about himself in the third person. Jack said it was weird. Washington down there in their first year in the Big Ten, number 12 class at 15 recruits. Maybe if they beat Texas and go on to the national championship game, they'll get a bump in the towards the February sign day. We shall see. Maryland, Michigan just stole one of their best defensive players in the transfer portal. They're struggling still. Number 13 in the Big Ten, 21 commits. Illinois at number 14. How about Michigan State? Give me a boo in the live chat for Michigan State. That program is falling apart at the seams, but they did get themselves a good coach in Jonathan Smith from Oregon State. Hasn't really had any time to recruit. Indiana, UCLA. What a disaster that UCLA has become. I mean, how have they not been able to? How can you not recruit UCLA? Right, you're in LA, fun and sun. Chip Kelly is a known commodity, an NFL coach, successful coach at Oregon. Went to a national title game. Only 11 commits at UCLA and Northwestern. With all the turnover they have, they just named their new head coach after Pat Fitzgerald got, I think, unjustly fired. They come in at the worst class in the Big Ten. How about this question for you guys as we are wrapping up our recruiting segment? Who will have more years at Michigan going forward, right? J.J. McCarthy, who could only, even if he wanted to, stay one more year, or Jim Harbaugh, right? If Jim Harbaugh is the coach next year, I think he's the coach for a long time. I think it's, maybe we say that every year, right? Oh, he'll be back for the long term. It's the last dalliance in the NFL, whatever. Who will have more years remaining at Michigan? Jim Harbaugh, give me a JH. J.J. McCarthy, give me a JJ. Or if neither, if you think they're tied at the hip, they're both leaving this year, or they're both leaving after next year. If they're together, just type 0 if it's a tie for 0 or 1 years for those guys together. JH for Jim Harbaugh or JJ for JJ McCarthy.